Hey Pam, it's Matt over here at Westside Apartments. Listen, I just wanted to thank you for coming by and looking at the home today. You need to think about it a little bit, but it's a great home, Pam. It's a really great home. We've got a lot of great amenities, and we're in a good school district. Yeah, you need to think about it. But the school district, you don't have kids? Oh, okay. We really want you to come. When can you come back? Okay, you just need to think about it for a little bit. When should I follow back with you? Maybe, should I call you next week? Right. Okay. How about next month? Oh, okay, Pam. I'll let you think about it. Thank you for your time. Bye. Hey everybody, that's not good. Unfortunately, that's how a lot of times things go down as us with leasing agents. Today I want to talk about when your prospect says, I want to think about it. Hey, I'm Matt Easton, your friend in leasing and life. It's great to have you here. Listen, if you want more tips on how to lease more apartments, more tips on how to grow your career in property management, more tips on how to get more done in less time with less work, I encourage you, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're going to give you great tips all the time. They are going to help you lease more apartments. But let's talk about some thoughts on why we get, and I know we all get this, the dreaded, I want to think about it. First of all, how I handled that on the phone is not how you want to handle that. In the Leasing University, we go through exactly how to handle not only that objection, but every objection, but certainly don't use that as an example. I was trying to show a classic way of how not to do it. But before we get into how to handle that specific objection, I want to talk about the why. That's what I want to do on this video. I want to talk about what it really means when our prospects at our apartment community say, I want to think about it. And I'm excited to hear what you think and hear if you're getting that a lot, so please comment below. So I think it means three different things typically. And none of those three are they actually want to sit around and go, I need to think about it. Here's one for you. Think about an elephant. Think about a big, big elephant. How long did it take you before I asked you to think about an elephant for the picture of an elephant to pop in your mind? What? A millisecond, right? That's how long people need to think about something. So when they say, I need to think about it, I'm going to push back on that one a little bit. I don't think people need to literally sit around and ruminate and go, It takes split seconds, tenths of seconds, billions of seconds for a thought to enter your mind. So there's no reason for somebody to need to take all this time to think about something. So I think when they say, I need to think about it, they really mean one of three different things. Number one, they don't have the money, okay? That's on you and that's on them, and I wouldn't worry about that this much. Now, if you are in a position with your leasing process where you're withholding information, for example, not telling people what the cost of the rent is until they come on property, well, that's your fault when they say, I need to think about it. Nobody's going to tell you, hey, I can't afford this. It's way, way out of my budget. There's too much pride involved in that. So what we end up saying is, I need to think about it. But what we really want to say is, there's no way I can afford $2,300 in rent. The way that you can combat this is you can give that information out freely. I encourage you, in the Leasing University system, has no secrets in it. We don't withhold any information. The rent's $2,300. Let's get that out. Let's get that on the table right in the beginning. So I encourage you to make sure that your prospects have access to that information. Now that alone is not going to stop the I need to think about it because I don't have money, because sometimes people will actually, even though they know that the home is out of their price range, they're still going to shop around. That's still a win for you, because you're getting a realistic scenario to drill, to practice, to rehearse, and to perfect your craft. So it's not going to happen that often, but let's say maybe one out of every 30 or 40 prospects, qualified prospects that come through the leasing office, really knew they couldn't afford it to begin with, and it's just not a fit. You got to run them through your process. So that's great. Let's not worry about that. Who cares if we lose a few on that? So There's the I can't afford it. You better be letting them know the price up front. You better be confident about it. Don't hide your pricing or else you're doing yourself a lot of damage with I can't afford it. The second reason that somebody says, I need to think about it, and I think this is the most common reason, is they don't see the value in the home. You never connected the value to their values. If you notice on the phone call, I started talking about school districts, and then she interrupted me and said, I don't have any kids. I know that's kind of silly, and I was being kind of silly, and it's a bit over the top how bad that phone call was, but that's really how bad a lot of our phone calls go. We forget to associate the value in our home with their values. And the first step in that process is learning about their values, learning about that prospect. What's most important to them? Why is it most important to them? What do they want to see first? Why do they want to see that first? If you don't understand that, there's absolutely no way as a professional that you're going to be able to communicate the value in your prospect. And that is going to lead to I need to think about it. Because in that point, they really are thinking about it because they're trying to take all of these puzzle pieces that you laid out on the table and build this jigsaw puzzle themselves so that they can see the value. If you just present information, features, benefits, amenities, specials, school districts, whatever it is, dog wash, bike wash, I don't care, donut machine in the lobby. If you just start throwing that stuff out, they're never going to be able to connect the value unless they take a lot of time and map out what's important to them and see if the stuff that you presented matches. So that's 100% on you. When they say I need to think about it and it's because they don't see the value, you need to go back and you need to look at your leasing process. From when you answered the phone and initially took that call, what questions did you ask them? Why did you ask them those questions? How did you ask them those questions? In what order? How did you present the information? How did you recap the information? How did you handle them when they got on property? Those are all the things that are going to be critical to you showing the value. So that's number 2, and I think that's the biggest reason why people say, I need to think about it. Now, the third reason is the second biggest reason. Like I said before, I don't have the money. That's pretty rare, okay? The third reason is, I don't see the urgency. This one, again, 100% on you. You know a lot about apartments. You know a lot about somebody's needs with a new home. You know a lot about our industry and how it works. Think about how many times the average person out there leases an apartment. Think about that. How many is it? An average person in their lifetime, how many leases do they sign? 5? 10? I know it's not more than 25. It's going to take 50 to 100 times doing something before you become an expert at it. Okay? Nobody is ever going to become an expert at leasing apartments. You're an expert because that's all you do all day, every day, right? But you cannot expect them to be an expert. They don't know how the process works. They don't understand that if they don't sign a lease on this home right now, that the next person that comes through their door can take it from them. They don't understand that they probably shouldn't wait until a week before they move out of their house to make sure that they find out where they're going to live next. Otherwise, they're going to be living in a van down by the river. They don't understand that. This is up to you as a professional, up to you as your leasing agent, as their leasing agent, to be that professional that's going to have those difficult conversations with them, to help them understand the process. Much like a doctor that's got a patient in front of them that's drinking Red Bull, like 12-pack of Red Bull every day, right? And they're, I love the Red Bull. And you're looking at their heart scan and you see, boy, if they continue to drink Red Bull, their heart's gonna explode. It's up to that physician to say, hey, Matt, I need you to slow down on the Red Bull. Actually, you're lucky to be alive. So here's the plan that we're gonna do. You're gonna stop taking Red Bull as of right now. Also need you to increase your water intake. We also need to look at your diet and boom, boom, boom. It is your job as their leasing agent to communicate the urgency for them to lock down the lease in their new home because they have all of these other things that come after that figuring out your furniture, figuring out your move, figuring out your internet access, whatever it is that they need to set up with their new move. It is your job, much like the doctor that's going to say, we're cutting out the Red Bull, we're drinking our water, we're improving our diet, and I need to see you next week. It is your job to communicate that. If you are not communicating the urgency, you are no worse off than a doctor that lets his patient leave the office, chugging the Red Bull, knowing they're going to drop dead probably on the drive home. You're going to lose your license to practice medicine. And you should lose your license to lease apartments if you're not communicating this urgency. This is serious, serious business. So those are the 3 reasons that I think we get most of the time when somebody says, I need to think about it. It really means I don't have the money, I don't see the value, or I don't understand the urgency of the situation. So I want you to think about all 3 of those the next time you've got a prospect in your leasing office. And hey, if you're looking for training, I encourage you to go check out leasinguniversity.com. I'll be your coach through everything, and we will get you leasing way more apartments in less time with less work, and you're gonna love your job. Hey, until the next video, I'm Matt Easton, your friend in leasing and life. Be great and get those leases.
I've been in the property management industry I'm on my 3rd year, and I have never got a lease signed that fast.
My name is Matt Easton, and I'm the founder of Leasing University. I've worked with thousands of leasing consultants and property managers just like yourself to help them get better, to help them get more leases.
I love the way that Matt pushed the leasing professionals to think about how people think.
I've developed Leasing University just for you. You and I are going to work together virtually from your phone, from your tablet, from your PC. I'm going to be here to coach you every step of the way, 24/7, 365. You and I are going to work to get you better, to help you get those leases. The way people rent apartments is totally different today than it was yesterday. Renters have more access to information than they've ever had before, and they've got more choices than they've ever had before.
I just got my first deal as a leasing consultant, and I haven't even been in the leasing game in a week. I started on Monday, and today is Sunday, and I got my first 2 deals. It really taught me how to go the extra mile and really gave me the why behind the important things that you have to do when you are leasing and meeting with people and connecting with them and helping them choose their home.
My name is Kayla, and the one thing I like about Leasing University is it teaches you how to do property management and leasing and make the best out of all of it.
Everything that you need to know to get better, to hit your occupancy goals, to make more money, to advance your career as a leasing consultant, it's all right here for you at Leasing University.